and welcome to the first of this year's mid-month shows. So we're going to keep running with our main shows, but this is a special intermediate show, and today is going to be based around the new seating area that we've built in the back garden. Specifically, we are going to be talking about garden lighting, and there are a lot of things to know about garden lighting, and there are a lot of things for us all to learn, and hopefully you'll find some of this very, very useful in your own gardens. Excuse me. So we're going to be covering various types of lighting, battery, solar, mains, and we're going to be looking at where we use each different type of lighting and the best way of using them. But I want to start by showing you how I have finished off the new seating area in the garden. So welcome to mid-May in a year gardening. So when I started to cover this area, I bought 2 bags of bark chippings just to get an idea of roughly how much I would need. So I'm looking to get this around about 1.5 to 2 inches thick all the way across. And I worked it out, I'm going to need another 3 bags. So most importantly, when you're handling bark and things, you don't know what's in the bag. Get a decent pair of gloves on. And all I'm going to do is just slice the bag open. Pop my knife somewhere safe. Tip it out. Onto the ground. Do that with one more. Tip that onto there and put the bag over there. Then all I'm going to do is get my rake and then start spreading this out. Nice and even across the ground here, and it's just going to overlap the end of the weed membrane. Then when I put my compost mulch over the plants, it will give us a nice edge. So I'm going to carry on doing this, get this all down nicely. Show you what it looks like in a minute. Well, there we go. A nice little area which will be weed free for us to come and sit down in the garden during the summer. Splendid. Well, the next thing I want to do here is put some lighting into the area so that if we sit out here in the evening, we've got a little bit of a light area. I'd like a couple of lights at the front to give us our entrance, and maybe some smaller lights around the side. But how do I decide the right lighting for this? That's something I'm going to discuss with you now. One of the things that we spend a lot of time is looking at lighting in our garden. There are lots of different types of lights. We have battery, we have solar, we have mains, We also have candles, but we have to make sure that when we're putting lighting in the garden, it is actually the lighting that we need. Now, every box you buy with lights has a lumen indicator on it, and I'll explain to you what that means now. So, I'm going to get some solar lights for the garden, which are in lumens. How do I know how strong I want the light? What is a lumen? So I'll give you an indication now. You will be familiar with one of these. This is a birthday candle. And if I just light that, that is giving off some light. And approximately 300 mil away, the light hitting my hand would be 1 lumen. Now that's not very strong. Put that out for now. So I think I want something not too garish, but maybe between 3, 5, 7 lumens, around that sort of mark, because I'm going to have a number of lights around the area where we're going to sit. But I don't want it to overtake the garden, I just want it to enhance the garden of an evening. So I'm going to go down the shop, have a look at some lights, buy some, bring them back, and then we'll install them. I'm also going to show you some of the other lighting that I've got. So I've got mains lighting in this building here in the summer house. I've got some solar security lighting, and I've also got some electric security lighting, and I've got an electric patio light. I've got solar lights on the gazebo, a little rope light on there. And also I've been given, in fact I was given, I think it was at Christmas, by my son and his partner, a watering can solar light, which I will install so that they can be decorative as well as functional. And so we're going to cover quite a few aspects of lights in this little bit of the show. Well, I'm now back from the shop and I've bought myself a set of solar lights. These are 0.06 watts, approximately 4 to 5 lumens, and they will be perfect for this area of the garden. Now, there are 12 lights in this set with their individual little stake lights, and they come in 4 pieces to assemble. So what we have is we have a top and a lens, and the top has a little switch inside which allows us to turn this on and off. So we can turn it on and you can see that's now lit. Then this locks back inside there, and then there is a stainless steel tube and a spike to go in the ground. So when we assemble it all together, you have a light which will come above the ground around about 300–350 mil, and that's going to be perfect for this small area of garden. So what I've got, if I remove the spike from the bottom, I've got my rubber mallet to put the spike into the ground, just tap it in and then attach a light. So let's put a couple in. So the first lights that I want are either side of the entrance into this new seating area. So what I'll do is I will take one of the spikes, and I think around about that area we want to allow ourselves a good width to come in, so we may just go a little bit wider there, and you want it nice and square into the ground. Then I can just tap that down gently with my rubber mallet, and that's going at a bit of an angle, so I don't want that. I want it nice and square. Put that into the ground. Then I can take the aluminium tube, place that on top, Cool, that's sharp. Gonna watch that. And then grab myself one of the lights. I want to make sure that I switch it on. Flick that over the top. And then that will just go into the top of the tube. And now that is charging already. So, cool, look at that. Cut myself on that. That wasn't very clever. And so I'm going to repeat that over this side. And just bring that a little bit back. Yeah, just around about 4 inches from the edge, giving myself plenty of space to be able to edge the lawn. That's gone in nicely. Pop that in the top, remembering not to put my hand over the top because that is sharp. Turn this one on. And then pop that into the top. Quite simply, there are the first two lights. I'm going to run some more around this edge now. So this is the view from my seating area, and now here are our new lights around the edge and at the entrance. And so we have 12 lights just around the edge, which are going to look great. So now I'll show you my installation of my decorative watering can solar light, and then we'll have a look at the electric lights that we've got. So those lights were functional and they're going to serve a real purpose. Other lights are decorative. Now, Joe and Victoria bought me this watering can feature light, and here's a little beastie here. It's a watering can with wiring and then the lights that come off the end, and we'll undo those shortly. And it has a stand, and the stand comes in 3 pieces which we need to put together. So we just screw this together here, and the next section on here. Afraid without my glasses on I'm not very good at this. And then once we've got this, we can just give it a good wind to tighten it up. And I'm going to put this into one of the pots on the border, so I'll show you that now. Okay, so here's the pot, and all we're going to do is we're going to place this firmly into the ground. Just cover up where that was going, and then we're going to take the pot. Now this is all wound up, this wire, so we're going to unwind it, and I hope it just unwinds because I haven't tried this before. But there we go, that's unwinding from here. And these wires are covered in small individual lights. I still need to unwind some more of this. And they're going to give the impression of water streaming from the can. So we're just going to open those up, let that run down, and then all we're going to do is hang this, and we want to spin that around a little. In fact, I'm going to put that in at a different angle so that I can see that coming down onto the plants below. And then all we need to do is gently tease these open, and it will look like a stream of water coming down onto the plants below. I think that's going to look absolutely effective. So, Joe and Vicky, thanks a lot. And electric lights. These are lights with a purpose. Each one of these is around about 20 lumens. So we've got quite a lot of light here. So if we're sitting here with our guests or our barbecue going, we can have decent light for the evening. These are low voltage outdoor lights, and they run off of a converter, so they're just a very, very low power source light. Fantastic things, and they give us wonderful light in our decking area. So happy days. Now let's have a look at security lighting. Well, another sort of light that I want to talk to you about is PIR, Passive Infrared. Now I have some solar security lights on the side of the house down here, and these operate by an activity passing through it. So you have a sensor on the front of the light and it's passive infrared, and when someone walks past, if I put my hand on here, you'll see the light comes on, and it's a strong light, and this lights up and it will deter people from coming onto your property. So these are solar powered. I've got another one which is actually powered by mains. I'll show you that one now. Well, this is the last light I'm going to show you on this one, and this is a security light at the front of the property, and this is again PIR. It has a PIR scanner at the bottom, and when anyone approaches the house it powers on. This is again mains powered. It's a halogen bulb, and it's very, very bright. It lights up the whole of the front of the property, which is very useful because here we have our security camera, and the security camera then picks up everything on the front of the property. So lighting can be very important for many, many reasons. Pretty to sit with, pretty to look at, or very, very useful. And this is the little garden area that we laid out with our lights earlier. And if I come into our seating area and I come and sit down, I've got some nice gentle lighting leading us out of our lovely seating area. So I think this is a very successful experiment. Just a wonderful thing. Well, thank you for joining me today, and I hope you found some of the content interesting. And I didn't cover the candles, but we have candles that we use, the citronella candles, which evidently keep mosquitoes and things away, which is quite useful if you're sitting outside, particularly of an evening. But I'm leaving you here with the lovely border behind me. The lupins are looking absolutely glorious at the moment, and the GMs are absolutely divine. And this is just going to continue to develop and grow. Behind the camera that you can't see, the woodland border looks absolutely gorgeous with the irises and the aqualesias just coming into full flower. And I'm sure that the summer is going to be glorious. So once again, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a lovely May and we lead into a lovely summer together. So I will leave you with a few kind words, which is stay well, stay safe, be kind to each other, and happy gardening. And finally, I have a small glass of Cabernet Sauvignon to wish you well. Cheers.